Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. Hi. Oh, that was awkward. Anyway, if you're new also, hopefully I fixed it in editing, but I'm slightly pale and I was last week too. I'm trying out new foundation. Shouldn't be doing it, should have learned my lesson, did I? No, whatever. Anyway, welcome to Smut Saturday, and if you are new and feel offended by the smut and you are like a smut reader and you feel offended, I'm a smut author. I'm trying to take back the word and trying to be proud of our smutness. As I said in my first video, there's nothing at all to be ashamed of reading romance or smut, and I definitely think that some of the romance books I've read are some of the most intelligent and life-changing and comforting books I've ever read, and I definitely want people to shut the fuck up if they want to talk crap about smut. So anyway, that's why I'm a romance author myself. If you don't know me, and if you want to follow me on social media, then I'm going to put it up somewhere. Definitely do, because I hang out mostly on Instagram, but also in my reader group on Facebook. But I'm not really here to talk about me today. I'm here to talk about Flock by Kate Stewart and The Client by Jessica. Did I say her name right? Yeah, I did. Flock by Kate Stewart and The Client by Jessica Garziella. Two books that I've read this week. I read them in the same day within hours of each other. They are so different. What the fuck just happened? Two amazing books. Like, holy crap. I only have two books to talk about today because I say this a little bit further in, but I have read so many books, and I could have talked about other books that I've read in the past, and I was considering doing that, but I want this to be a little bit more raw, get all of my feelings, and then I'm going to like do different videos where I talk about other books that I've read further in the past. But these two books, I actually have a lot to say about them. I love them so freaking much. They were so good. As I said, so different. One ends on a cliffhanger, one's a happy ever after, so we get a little bit of both really, really good. So if you want to hear a little bit more about the books and see how I went from a bare face to this, then keep on watching, and I do link all the products that I'm using down below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe if you like this kind of thing, and comment if you have any requests or anything. I love hearing from you guys. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and if you want to learn more about these books, then just keep watching. Oh my god. I hate technology. I don't know where I was in the last one. Don't know what I was talking about. I could stop recording, but I'm trying a new foundation today. Have I learned? I should have learned. This one is the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I don't know why I keep trying them, guys. I don't know, just don't come at me. Okay, let's start with The Client by Jessica Garziella, and I'll give you all the the dates, you know, like the things you need to know straight off. Happy ever after, first person dual point of view. So we get both the heroine's and the hero's point of view. Heroine's name is Wasp, and hero's name is Fengmei. And this is, I'm just gonna move my mirror so I'm not like looking away from you as much. I know I need to stop looking in the monitor too, guys, but it's because it keeps like freaking stopping recording, and then I'm still talking and I don't know where it ends. So, and I'm not good at technologies, which means I have to go and get my man and be like, help me. So that's why I keep looking at it, and because I'm partially vain. So by the way, if anyone hasn't read anything by Jessica Garziella, I really hope I'm saying her name right. She's one of my closest friends. Sorry. If you haven't read anything by her, like, she has written, I don't know, I think it's 80 now. I'll like look properly or ask her and then like put it up on the screen how many books she's written, but she's written a shit ton. And I read her like, I think we published around the same time, but I think I'd read her like just before I published or something, and I loved her books. She has a great MC series, The Henchmen. So if you're an MC lover, I think I'm going to do like a spotlight on authors. So I'll definitely do like a Jessica spotlight so you can like get into her mood of Jessica, because she is such an amazing writer. And this, okay, so this is a standalone, but it is like part of the, I feel like I don't want to say it's part of a series because it's like, it's a complete standalone, but it is in the like Professionals universe, and The Professionals is one of my favorite series by Jessica as well. It's like security kind of series, but like they're fixers. It's really, really good. And if you have read the series before, you will know who Fenway is. He's like billionaire playboy. Does this look a bit pale? Have I just continued to go the way of looking a little bit pale? I think it should be fine. I think it's going to oxidize a little. Yeah, so Fenway is a billionaire playboy and Wasp is a con woman who lives in a schoolie, which is a renovated school bus that she travels around in. So cool. Awesome. What an imaginative idea. But then, I swear, the thing with Jessica is, like, you would think after writing as many books as she had, they would, like, how will you come up with a new idea? And, like, they'll all be the same and all of that. But they're not. Like, every single book is different. Every single heroine is different. Every single hero is different. Like, she has the crazy alpha heroes that we all love. Fenway, I would say he's not as alpha as a lot of her books and a lot of the heroes in romance, which I actually love, especially because he's kind of like a billionaire as well. He's more like quirky and like really funny and playful, and I really, really like that, which is funny because like if you had asked me when I first kind of got into the genre, like I looked over my concealer last time, guys, and I didn't put it on very well. If you had asked me like when I first started reading the genre if I would like kind of a less alpha hero, like no. I want alpha all the fucking way. But, oh my gosh, you guys. When kind of, like he's still alpha, don't get me wrong, he's still hot and everything. But when a kind of like more playful and more humorous hero is done right, oh my god, I love it so much. Like the humor in this was so good. He was so lovable and he was like so forgiving with her. So I'll tell you the premise. So Wasp is like a con woman. Her specialty is cheating guys. So she goes to bars and like picks up guys whose wives or girlfriends or whatever have hired her because they're cheating scumbags. So she has like this really, I put a little bit too much white on there. Just fix that up. Probably a bit too much. Girl, get it together. Get it together. I'm just gonna put some makeup over top of that. I feel like I get really manic, and then that's why I don't do my makeup as good as I normally am, because I'm just like so nervous, and it's also really, really hot in here, you guys. So that's why I get like overwhelmed, and then my makeup doesn't really turn out like the best it can be. Yeah, so she's a con woman, and she does, yeah, cons against cheating scumbags and like goes to bars and picks them up and then like takes them to the hotel room and gets just enough kind of dirt on them. You know, no, she doesn't have sex with them, but she lures them into a compromising enough position where their wives can prove that they're cheating scumbags. Someone contacts her and someone contacts her to do a sweetheart con on Fenway, this playboy who is like a mysterious person, offers her a lot of money for this, and it's to make him fall in love with her and then break his heart. It's not something she would normally do, but she's intrigued, and she's kind of realizing that, you know, it's not a very sustainable job being a con woman. You know, it can only go on for so long till you get a bit older. So she's like, right, this could be my retirement. This could be it. And, you know, this guy's obviously done something to deserve this. And so she flies. Another thing, this is international, guys. This is an international book. I fucking love it when books like have travel in them. And so she flies to Paris and she kind of makes the meeting with Fenway. And then he sees her at the bar and he instantly, it's kind of insta-love, but no, I wouldn't say it's insta-love. Like, it's not, they don't have sex straight away. The sex scenes are steamy, I'll tell you that. Jessica always writes good sex scene, but they're not like overly steamy in a good way. Like, you know, they're not, I don't know how to explain them, but they're just really good. Anyway, the pool scene, if you've read it. The pool scene. Yeah, really fucking good. So yeah, he is definitely kind of transfixed by her straight away, and they kind of have like this back and forward because she's, you know, playing a bit hard to get. That's how you get those ones that are just used to getting what they want. So these earrings are fucking sweet. Darkened up slightly. Once I get bronzer on, it should be right. So he then invites her on his private jet to go to like an unknown location, and she already has a little bit of like a reaction to him in Paris, even, you know, from the start, which she kind of denies because she's like, I wouldn't say she's a cold heroine, I would just say, you know, she's a badass. For sure, she's a total badass, and I love it. And I love that she's always in heels. Like, she's always wearing 6-inch heels, and I love that. Anytime a heroine's like a fashionista. Oh, I didn't want this part of my hair just showing it. But yeah. So she gets on the jet with Fenway. Oh, and I also really like Jessica has a character called Alvy, who is gender fluid, and they use they, them pronouns, which Jessica's always been very inclusive in her books. I would definitely say that, but I think I have barely read any books with gender fluid characters. I haven't written any because I don't know, I guess I'm a little bit nervous to get things wrong or something like that. And I love the way that Jessica did it. I thought she did it so well, and I was just really proud of her for putting something like that into a book. I think it's really needed, like more representation. So I thought that was a really, really awesome addition. So anyway, she gets on the jet and they fly to Bali, and I've been to Bali. I love this because I've been to all the locations that Jessica talks about, which I think is awesome, and I definitely felt like I was there. And so they go to Bali, and he has this like beautiful house in Bali. Well, and obviously on the trip over, they like kind of connect a little bit more and joke, and he like likes old movies and Katharine Hepburn, and they just like kind of hit it off, and she has to keep reminding herself that this is like just a job, which I always love it when there's something like that. I think that's such a cool little trope. And definitely also like feminist, because I feel like more of the time, like, don't get me wrong, I definitely like the ones in romance where it's like kind of the bet ones, and it's usually the guy and then he falls in love with the girl, but I think it's such an awesome little feminist addition to have it the other way around. So yeah, they are in Bali and things heat up, you guys. They heat up, and pretty much from then on, she doesn't know where the con ends and like real life begins. And I don't want to say too much else because you need to read it. But I will say, if you haven't read the Fixer series, like, you don't need to read this, but I would highly, highly recommend the Fixer series. I would highly recommend any of Jessica's books. She has Into the Green, which is a really great paranormal book. She has, as I said, the Henchman MC, which is a great MC series. And then she has this professional series, which I just love. I honestly, it's really hard for me to pick favorites with Jessica's books because I love them so much. But I will say that, oh, anxiety rash is coming through, guys. Don't you love it? Sorry about that. I'm going to try and cover it up, but when she's here, she's here. I really like that Jessica, what was I even talking about? Yeah, the professional series. You could read this book first for sure. As I said, standalone, completely standalone. Stop with the blush or the bronzer, bitch. You've got enough on. You could read it as a complete standalone, but if you haven't read the professional series, then I think you need to, for sure. If you haven't read anything of Jessica's, like, so I will say, if you have read anything of Jessica's before, you do get to see characters from previous series. It's like more focused on Wasp, but you definitely get to see characters from her previous series. you get to go back to Navis Skin Bank. I thought they had a mirror in it and I was like ready to look at it. Yeah, if you're new here, your girl can't pronounce it. So you definitely get to see all your faves, which is bomb.com. And as I said, you get a happy ever after, which you always do with Jessica, which I love. And she also does long epilogues, which is my favorite thing. Oh my gosh, epilogues. Everyone, we just need epilogues. And I know I've kind of strayed. I personally have, because just like, I don't know why. I have a good long epilogue. And why am I even talking about my own book? But sorry, I'm just trying to get my blush right here. Alright, I think we're good. So yeah, she has a really, really good amount of long epilogues, and there's something that happens right at the end of the book that I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, not a bad oh my gosh, but the suspense up until the end. I will say that traditionally, Jessica's professional series has a lot of suspense in them, but I wouldn't call this one a romantic suspense. I would just say contemporary, which I actually really like. Me and Jessica were actually talking about it. I really love a good drama every now and then, but it is really refreshing just to have like something nice and comfortable and safe feeling. Am I looking away from you guys too much? Cheese and rice, I think I am. Oh, this angle. Alright, so I'm getting really hot in my my chest, and neck is getting really red, so I'm sorry. I already have like a red skin tone naturally. What was I saying? So we were talking and kind of said that like it's really nice, especially the way that things are now, not to have like a crazy amount of suspense and like, you know what I mean, drama in the book. I think this one was way more character driven, which I really loved, and I loved getting to know the characters, and I loved the banter and back and forward, and I love the travel, and I just think it was like such a nice light read, but still intelligent, if you know what I mean, because that's what Jessica, like, she's smart as fuck. I text her all the time being like, I need help with like just life in general, but definitely like smart but light and easy to read. But like, I read it in like a couple of hours, and it was like, just, I was definitely sucked in, which is what you want from a book, right? But yeah, I will say there is definitely action toward the end, but I really like that she's kind of like mixing it up, that she's not being like, all right, this is what you get from me every time. She's really pushing the boundaries with her books, and she's really like always striving to like make them different and like just grow as a writer, which I love. Like, I love everything about her books, but that's what I mean. Like, you can get the rest of the professional series, you can get a little bit more action if that's what you're craving, but I definitely think right now, like, we just need something to make us feel like safe and chill. Oh, there's an eyebrow here that I missed. Veganery. Guys, I'm really struggling not having my usual eyebrow person doing me brows. They're bushy, if you haven't noticed. I'm trying to like lean into it, but girl, what have you done here? You've got a disaster zone. She's got a strong brow today. Strong as her anxiety. But as I was saying, like, I definitely really appreciated the fact that it was like, oh my god, I just had a moment where I was like, I haven't looked down there in a while, and am I so pale? I fear these first few videos are going to be a hot mess, you guys, because I will say that foundations look way different in person than on camera. You know, I've just tried a bunch of new ones, which, you know, shouldn't have done, but I'm here, guys. It's happening, so I'm apologizing in person. She's a little bit pale, and with this light blowing me out, it's even more so. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just broadcasting this to the whole internet, so it's fine. As I was saying, you know, like, with times like this, we really need, well, I definitely find myself, like, as I was said in my first video, I find myself being almost scared to read because I'm like, oh, I'm so emotionally delicate. Like, I don't know what I'm going to get. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it's just honestly really true. I just don't want to like fucking try and dive into something and then just have it be like not what I want and then just be a mess, you know? So I'll say that's what Jessica's is. And as I said, if you haven't read it, and if you haven't read anything by Jessica, then what are you doing? Why are you here? Why aren't you on Amazon? Your girl, she definitely got another pale bitch look today. Why did I do it? I'm so pale. Thick. I committed. So. Alright, anyway, so that is The Client by Jessica Gaziella. 1,001 stars. 1,001 stars. It was so good, and as I said, I highly recommend it, and if you haven't read it, you need to. And if you haven't read any of her, so read the Professional series for sure. As I said, one of my favorites from her, but also the hint. We'll just read any of her books, okay? Just read them all. Alright, next up we have Flock by Kate Stewart. So you guys, I started this right after I finished Jessica's book. You know, I had so many good feelings. I was like really chill and relaxed, and I was like, wait, I have a photo of this eye look that I want to try and do, and I need to reference it because last time I didn't and I fucked it up. So I'm going for an orangey look today, guys. If I manage to reproduce it like enough to where I feel like I should be able to show you, I'll put it on the screen now. But if I, you know, in the future I'm editing this and I already know what happens and I fuck it up, then I'm not going to put it on. But I feel like it's going to be cute. Famous last words. So, I haven't read Kate Stewart before. Straight off the bat, she's a Cliffy. I'm going to tell you that. She's a Cliffy. And you guys aren't ready. I said I came from Jessica's book feeling safe, feeling lovely, feeling really just like, oh, she gave me all the feels, like, you know, just everything I needed. And then I was like, I'm in the reading mood now. Jessica put me in the reading mood. I was actually meant to read The Legacy by Dylan Allen, which I really wanted to read. That sounds so good. But I had my Kindle, and what fucking colour was I using? Who knows? I had my Kindle, and you guys, I was being lazy. Obviously, I've had my ear infection. So I was on the couch, and my bookshelf is all the way across the house. So I was like, I'm lazy. So I had Flock by Kate Stewart on my Kindle because I had seen this everywhere. I'd seen so many people talking about it. I feel like in person, I actually do look really pale. Let's hope we can fix that. So I had so many people talking about this, and I was like, gosh, I really need to fucking read this book. So I kind of went in blind. If you go on Amazon right now and check it out, the blurb is really, really vague. And guys, I love a vague blurb. I was turned away from you way too much then, sorry guys. I love a vague blurb. I love a vague blurb so much. I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to get. And as I said, so many people were raving about this, and I hadn't read her before. Didn't know it was a Cliffy. I already knew it was going to be dark by the blurb though, for sure. I really wasn't prepared. Like, I've never felt this fucked up by a book in a long time. I cannot remember. So, it is first person point of view, and it is like polyamorous. Is that the right word? It's 2 girls, 1 guy. Again, I have read it before, and I think it is Kylie Scott's zombie books that she did a really good job with that. I'll put it on the screen. But beyond that, like, I'm a little bit more traditional in my taste. Like, I will read dark books for sure when I'm in the mood, but like most of the time I'm like, I like a little bit more traditional, just, you know, well, that's like me as a romance reader. This brush is shitting. Yeah, I'm definitely a little bit more traditional in my reading tastes. Well, but I will say as I have grown as like a person and as I have experienced kind of darker things in my life, I definitely have gravitated towards a little bit more darker books. And I didn't expect this book to be what it like. I honestly don't even know what to say to you guys about it. Fuck. So it's a cliffhanger. It is about Cecilia. She is 19 years old and she goes to stay with her estranged father, who is super duper rich. And she hasn't really had a relationship at all throughout her life. She was raised by a single mother and they were raised like pretty, like not like poor, but they weren't raised like in an affluent kind of, she wasn't raised in an affluent kind of life, and her dad was rich as fuck, but he kind of didn't want to have anything to do with her. So he, you know, he paid his child support and he was washed his hands of her. And then her mum had like some mental health issues, and she like wanted to kind of help out her mum. Obviously, she needed like some money to do that, and her dad said he would give her inheritance if she stayed with him for a year and worked at like one of his factories. Like he has like a factory. And so she's like, she really didn't want to because her dad's a prick. I feel like there's more to the story with the dad though. I feel like there's more because he is, but I just feel like there's more. So where's my reference photo? I feel like I'm already deviating. It's a bit brighter than what I've got going on. Alright. So yeah, as I said, like, oh gosh, my heart hurt when I like saw their relationship. She's a very strong female character, and definitely this is her sexual awakening. I would definitely say that. So she works at the plant, and I really just like the way she was written. She's really strong, and she seemed like she was 18, but like not in a really juvenile way. She was definitely written quite mature for her age, but she didn't seem like unbelievably mature for her age, I will say that. And obviously her life that she's had that you'll read about, you know, it kind of this is reading way redder than the orange that I'm going for. We have to live with it. Just live with it. That's not the brush I was using. So she, yeah, as I said, she goes to work at her plant, and then she meets Sean. And Sean is like this bad boy. He has this tattoo. He's like super hot, but he's like really kind of like alternative. Like he is definitely like how do I explain this? I wouldn't say it's like a gang, but it's like a secret society. But like they race cars. They all have muscle cars. Oh my god, I'm getting this book. I'm getting so ahead of myself because I'm just like I don't even know what to tell you about this book, and I'm getting really hot. I need a bright orange. Maybe I need to put some yellow in here. I feel like yellow will help it. So anyway, so she meets Sean on the first day, and he's like super friendly, and as I said, she finds him really hot, and he invites her to a party, and he's like kind of warns her before he goes in. He's like, you know, I'm gonna feed you to the wolves here, and she's like, what? But you know, she's brave, so she goes in. And there's a lot of people there, and then she's kind of like fish out of water because she's definitely been like the good girl all of her life because her mum was wild, and she found like it was her responsibility to like, you know, have good grades and not drink and kind of be responsible because her mum was always a little bit wild. And so she decides she kind of wants to reinvent herself here. She's like, all right, this is my time to shine kind of thing. But she feels a little bit out of place at the party, but there's like, she has a few ciders, even though she's never really drank before, and she kind of gets into it. Into Dominic. This tall, dark, like, brooding guy that she, like, reacts to, and he's such an asshole to her. So, spoiler alert, her relationship ends up being with Dominic and Sean, and they could not be more different. And, like, she says, and later on in the story, she's like, Sean can have my sunshine and Damien can have my rainy days. Anyway, getting ahead of myself. So like they have like this altercation, and Damien like tells her to leave, and she's like super offended, and she's like a bit bitchy with him. And then she just kind of like starts to like have this feud with him. And then as her and Sean grow closer, and they like, we kind of learn that he's definitely lives an alternative lifestyle. Like he doesn't believe in cell phones, and he doesn't like social media, and he thinks the world is kind of, you know, gone to shit with technology and social media and stuff. And so they end up, all right, I need to say, Homegirl can write a sex scene. She can write a sex scene like this fucking nobody's business. There was a day, so I see I'm getting ahead of myself, guys. This book, it fucked me up. So they end up, you know, kind of like becoming a couple, but she hears like through gossip and rumors that all the boys, because there's more than just Damien and Sean, there's like a house full of boys. There's also Tyler. What else is there? There's other boys, and I have forgotten their names, but doesn't matter. Well, they're good characters as well. I will say her side characters are really good. I really wish I'd seen more from her best friend. Maybe we will in the next book, because as I said, it's a cliffhanger. So they definitely become, and she spends more time at his house, and like she just keeps having these altercations with Dominic, and they end up like, but she's also really attracted to him, like really attracted to him, and she kind of feels guilty about it because Sean is like this. I will say, like, Sean isn't always like, he's definitely like not your traditional hero. He's not like always going to protect her. He really wants to like open her eyes to the world, and like he does it. He does it. So, oh my god. I don't even know where to begin. Anyway, so she kind of like, here's the rumor that they share girls. And she's like, she wants to be like horrified by this because she's like, you know, she's always been the good girl, but she's also like a little bit like darkly curious. I'm going to say this is like a sexual awakening book for sure. Like Cecilia, good girl, definitely. Wow, that's so much. Cecilia, good girl, definitely like open, because she's always been like a very sexual person. She's always felt like a little bit ashamed of her desires, and like these guys just like they're alternative in their lifestyle, like the Ravenwood. They're definitely like the Robin Hood. They're the Robin Hood. And so Sean, I'm going really back and forth and up and down with like the way I'm describing this, but if you've read this, you're going to understand why, and if you haven't, you will soon. So yeah, I think we're good. So Sean's really into hiking, and he, like she says in the book, like he can't sit still for like a freaking minute because he just always needs to be moving. He doesn't like sitting and doing anything. He doesn't like just being stationary kind of thing. So he's definitely like very active, and he's like kind of got more of a positive outlook on life, and he's kind of like the kinder one, whereas Dominic's kind of like this computer hacker guy, and he well, and he's just like way dark, and he's got way more demons, and he's like French, he speaks French, and he's got like a really sad family history. And yeah, so they're definitely different. Guys, this book really, it's been such a long time. Like I was up until like 3 in the morning finishing this book. I can't even explain to you how it affected me. So anyway, so she hears that they share girls, and this really intrigues her, and then she's like ashamed that it intrigues her, because she's like, oh, like things with Sean are going so well, like why am I desiring this guy that like is such a dick to me kind of thing. But anyway, there's something that happens at the lake, and Sean tells her, you know, like if this is what you want, like I'm okay with it. And I also really like the honest way she wrote the characters. Like there's like this little scene where she like he says, you know, I'm okay with it, blah blah blah. The wharf scene. Guys, Mum, please, if you're watching, go away. It was like hot. I was like in bed like, oh my god, this is one of the hottest things I've like ever read. So anyway, things happen. I'm gonna let you discover that for yourself, you guys. You're gonna thank me in the end. And then once it's over, like Sean seems like she feels really ashamed because obviously, you know, she's been the good girl all of her life and she like just did this like bad thing. I'm not saying that it's bad to do that, guys, by the way. It's just like that was her like perception of like what she did. And then she like gets in the car and Sean just like he isn't mad at her. And I love this line. It got to me so wow, because this is exactly how I would feel. She's like, I was almost like the romantic in me was like mad that he wasn't mad. And I was like, oh my god, that's exactly how I would feel if I was in that situation. I would be like, even though like I wanted it and like he said it was okay, like I would want my man to be like really jealous and like mad that I did that. But she was like, I was like darkly kind of pissed off at him, which I really liked. I think that was a really honest piece of writing. I will say her writing was so poetic and amazing. I can't get over how pale I am. I'm trying to compensate with the eyes if you haven't noticed. So yeah, and then they become like, I will like, that's the only time there's like a full-on threesome, because the rest of the times they decide to become like a couple. Oh my god. And yeah, things happen. There are fights, there's drama. I will say like I think that she wrote the relationship between the three of them really well, and also the fact that, you know, Cecilia, she kind of toils with this. Like this is something she's like so not mainstream, and this isn't what's expected of me, and I'm the good girl, but the sex that she has is so amazing. She's also like, oh, who gives a fuck, you know? So this book is so good. If you haven't read it, I'm so excited. So excited for you to read it, you guys. So then she kind of, but they're also really cryptic about like what is going on with, because they have a garage and they have these muscle cars, but there's obviously something else going on, like there's some kind of criminal kind of enterprise type thing, and they never kind of tell Cecilia what's going on, like why it's happening. And also it starts like in the future, so it starts actually like 10 years after all this happens, and then we go back, and so we know that something's gone, you know, something's happened to separate them, and now she's coming back, but it's all to do with kind of this Ravenswood and their like organization. She's like, I want to know what it is, and they're like really cryptic. And then I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but there's like a big thing that happens, and she finds out why they were so cryptic, and it's like a big deal. So, and it ends on a cliffhanger, like we don't know how the separation, we don't know, because she is saying, like the future her is saying, like I've come back for him, and she's talking about one guy, and we don't know who it is, which I'm like, oh my god. I honestly will tell you, in books like this, where there's like a love triangle or something, there's usually like one guy that I'm kind of like rooting for secretly, but it wasn't the case in this book, which is so rare for me, because usually there's like a favorite. There's usually someone that I want her to end up with, but honestly, I couldn't tell you. At the start, I thought it was Sean, and then I was like, no, it's Damien, and then I was like, no, it's Sean. I want her to end up with them both. I'll say that. Whose team are you on, if you've read it? Sorry, this mirror is really dirty. I also saw that, and when I was filming, or when I was editing my last video, I was like, oops. But I touch it with my fingers, you guys. Of course it's dirty. I'm a real bitch. So I will say, like, if you are someone who is maybe kind of a little bit intimidated by, you know, two girls, one guy type thing, and you're like, I'm more of a traditional romance reader, I like don't like dark, I will say like go in with it, but I also will say, guys, please, please, please try it. Honestly, you will like be really surprised. And it's like, honestly, it was so good. I'm whispering because I don't want to tell you. It was like off the chain, huh? Like, it's like really good. I've never read a book like this. I will say I've never read a book like this, and it's also got me in like this mood of being like, I need to read so many more dark books, because she popped my cherry for sure, and I loved it. Oh my god. I think the sequel is coming out on like August something. I'm so excited. I saw someone had an arc of it and I'm like, I need to hit her up. I'm like, Skip, I can pretty please have an arc because I loved it so much. But also like, I'm like, I'll wait because I don't want to be that bitch. But like, alright, I need to put lashes on, so I'm going to quickly put on lashes and then come back to you and we'll have a wee chat. Okay, so I just did my hair. Well, I didn't do my hair, I just took it out of the braids, but I took it out a little bit early, so I don't know, I don't love it. Anyway, I have my hair and lips and eyes, what are they called? Lashes off camera. Jeepers. Anyway, so let us talk about vlog. The ending, as I said, it is a cliffhanger ending. Like it ends on one of those things like they talk about the Frenchman and like about this kind of secret society and what they're doing and all this stuff. And oh, did I also say her dad's like dodgy and they found out like all these dodgy things about her dad? Anyway, so because she has to work in this factory in order to get her inheritance. I don't know if I already said that. In order to get her inheritance, and then she wants to help her mum obviously, but then in the process of working in this factory she finds out these things about her dad, and well, we already know he isn't. We already know he's a dick, but I don't know, I feel like there's more. We're going to find out more about the dad, and anyway she ends up, like she's in this fight with her two guys, and then she is trying to like figure out what the fuck is going on and all of that, and she feels very betrayed, and then the end is like her like lying on like a sun lounger and, well, I don't know. Should I tell you what the ending is? Well, anyway, the ending is like someone is revealed, but we don't know who it is. And she's like, oh my god, it's you type thing. And then it ends. I will say the good thing is that the next book is coming out so soon, because otherwise I would be so annoyed. I definitely hate it when people end things on cliffhangers and then take like a year, but then again, I do that, so. But I will say these books, The Client and Flock, were like two totally different moods, and to read them in the same day, I was like, what? What are you doing? You've just like gone like opposite ends of the spectrum. But anyway, I was looking at them all too much, but anyway, sorry. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that gave me such a book hangover, and I was like, oh my gosh, what did I just read? It is so intense and so crazy and so good, so imaginative. Highly recommend that. If you don't like cliffhangers, maybe like buy it now and then like wait, because as I said, I think it's coming out like August 12th or 16th, and I can't wait. If anyone knows Kate, give me an arc. Anyway, so that is Smut Saturday. As I said, there's only 2 books today. I wanted to do more, hopefully. I actually got caught up reading a thriller. That's why I didn't read it. Well, I'm currently reading a thriller. So I'm going to do Thriller Thursday next week, I think. So exciting. And yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. If you have books that you want me to talk about, maybe I've read them, maybe I haven't, or if you have books that I need to read, if you have anything really to say, please let me know in the comments. I got my first dislike last week and I'm like, yes, I've made it. People hate me. Anyway, yeah, so let me know in the comments, chat with me. I love hearing from you and hearing if you like this. This is such a fun thing for me to do. Definitely a good way for me to read more romance and read more in general. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.